The Tigers entered on a 39-game regular season win streak, including conference championships. That comes to an end. We knew going in that was maybe the most impactful game of the entire college season. Here are Heather Dinich and Paul Finebaum. So let's start with this, Heather. What did that loss mean for Clemson and their chances of making the college football playoff?
They're still in this thing, Greeny. Look, I think what we learned from Saturday is that the ACC has the potential for 2 top 4 teams. They have to avoid any upsets for the rest of the regular season. I think they can do that. Brian Kelly has stressed that repeatedly. But it's not just the ACC, it's the SEC too that has the potential. Look, the SEC can state a case if Florida, which took the lead in the SEC East, runs the table and knocks off Alabama in the SEC championship game. You can have 2 SEC teams in the debate with the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. So the field got more crowded.
Yeah, I'm getting a phone call right now. It's from a Columbus, Ohio area code saying no matter what happens, you're not putting 2 teams from both of those conferences in under any circumstances. Paul Finebaum, it is a statement of fact. It's not an opinion that Brian Kelly had never won a game this big. He had never beaten a top 5 team. What does this win mean for Notre Dame and for their coach?
Well, it gives him far more credibility than he had. And once you get that off your resume, Greeny, you're in good shape. He's done a nice job there, but he had not done that. Back to Notre Dame, though. Yes, they win the game against Clemson in Charlotte on December 19th. They're in. But it's going to be a fascinating debate. What happens if Clemson wins that game? And they'll be favored. And then you have Florida upsetting Alabama, which will be the #1 team in the country. Ohio State is going to be in. We don't need to worry about that. Nobody needs to be calling from Columbus. But then you're going to start debating. And Heather knows more about this than anyone. But if Florida beats Alabama, they'll have a win over the #1 team and a very good loss against Texas A&M, which should be very close to the top 5 or 6 at that point.
So we have a fascinating month ahead of us. I have one more question for each of you quickly. Paul, we heard Jim Harbaugh, after losing to Indiana, say he feels his team is getting closer. What are we seeing right now for Harbaugh in Michigan?
Closer to what, Coach Harbaugh? It's not over for him yet, even though I know a lot of pundits are saying that. He's got. We think he has Wisconsin this weekend. We'll find out in a day or two, or maybe today. There's Penn State on the schedule. There's Maryland on the schedule. But I think he's going to have to beat Ohio State at the end of the year, which he's not going to do, by the way, to have any credibility or salvage his career. I mean, he is leaking oil badly. Even if he hopes to get out of there and get an NFL job, what's happening over this past weekend did not help, Greeny.
Yeah, that was a really, it has not gone well there, to say the least. And you touched on it. But, Heather, tell everyone why this is such an important day today in the Big Ten.
Well, Paul is right. Another announcement from Wisconsin on their status is expected today. They appear to be emerging from their COVID-19 outbreak. We'll find out, hopefully, if they can play at Michigan this week. But they have to win, or have to play every single remaining game on their schedule just to qualify for the Big Ten Conference Championship game. So they've got to get it done.
That's correct. They've had 2 games canceled. They were scheduled for 8. You have to play at least 6. So this is a critical day for Wisconsin, and in that way for the entire conference. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.